The other thing too is, and this is one that I'm still kind of learning, I'm not quite 100% there, but don't stop when you have attained your goal, whatever that goal is. And I'm talking, I guess, more of like the big overall goal, like here, we're, the retirement goal. There's of course little goals along the way. But a lot of people will aim for retirement and then be like, okay, once I get there, there's all these things I'm gonna do. I'll have a bucket list, they'll call it the bucket list. Okay, you gotta go through your bucket list of things to do, and then what? Right? You've got the whole rest of your life, however early you've retired, left. What are you gonna do with your time? And they have shown again and again, without purpose, without something to drive us forward, we have a very unsatisfactory life. So if you retire with no plans at all, or some really short-term, short-sighted plans, you're not going to be happy. In fact, there's a lot of people who end up unretiring to go back to work, which seems crazy, just to have something to be around people and to do something, or to get away from their spouse. I've heard that actually a few times, so from some of my employees. So one example, and this one kind of hit home. I was reading it. It was in a book called 12 Rules for Life, and the author was saying, he was talking to somebody or heard somebody, I can't remember what the context was, of their plan was to go sit on a tropical beach and drink some wonderful, beach cocktails. And that was their retirement plan. And that does sound good, right? I mean, that sounds, especially in these cold months right now, it's like, I want to get the hell out of here. I'd love to go to a warm beach and sit there with a cocktail. What a wonderful time. But he points out, if you do that every day, like that's your plan. That's 100% your retirement plan. If you do that every day for years and years on end, you know what that makes you? It makes you an alcoholic. Right? All you're doing is sitting on a beach drinking. That's not really, there's not much more to your life. So you gotta have something a little bit beyond that, more than just, I'm gonna go drink on a beach. Sounds good in the short term, but create purpose for yourself. Meaning it is what we should strive for. And one of the things that's the most fulfilling is trying to do something that makes the world a better place. They kind of show that it's a goal, one of the only goals that will really satisfy kind of our long-term need to end suffering, find happiness, things like that. So find whatever does that for you in retirement. And it's not going to be just some boring trudge through some short-sighted bucket list. And then finally, final behavior to avoid is you guys are now learning, financial knowledge. You're gaining financial knowledge. Don't hoard that. Make sure at some point, when you guys ever have kids, that you teach your kids the same thing. Or if you're feeling especially lazy, I'm sure this will still be applicable to some extent, have them go back and watch these videos. So here's grandpa, telling you what to do. So in summary, we want to avoid profiteers, people who are trying to take advantage of us, scams, get rich quick, whole life insurance, financial advisors, and the lottery. All right. We also want to avoid bad attitudes that take us down, complacency, not moving forward, victimhood, dishonesty, and then pontificating, getting up there on your soapbox and preaching to everybody. And then for behaviors, we want to avoid overspending. We want to avoid debt. We want to avoid inaction, sitting around not doing anything. We do want to avoid that 100% austerity, which is not going out and having any fun. We want to incorporate some sort of level of fun into our lives. We want to avoid poor planning. We want to avoid stopping at our goal. And finally, we don't want to hoard our newfound financial knowledge.